Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, tell us something about yourself.
So my name is Cristel Abello. I'm representing the beautiful province of Aklan. I am the daughter to OFW parents, but although I was raised in the States, I was raised to be 100% Filipino. Pusong Pinoy talaga ako.
What is one beautiful word in your local language? And what does it mean?
One beautiful word in my language is guapa. And I think that just solidifies and represents the Aklanon trait of us Filipinos being beautiful.
What one learning experience that you had as a child made much impact on you?
Oh, one learning experience that I had as a child was growing up in the States. I grew up in the States, but we were very Filipino in the household, from the values that were instilled into our home, to the food that we ate, and also to the language that we speak at the house. Hindi nga pumayag si mami na hindi kami magtagalog sa bahay. And through that, I really embraced and loved and learned through my culture, and it really solidified my identity as a person, as a Aklanon, and as a Filipino.
What one major lesson did you learn from your experiences during this pandemic?
During this pandemic, I have learned that one important lesson of bayanihan. It's really important for us, mga Pilipino, to stand together, to unite together, and to extend ourselves to help each other.
If you win Miss Universe Philippines, how will you help your community?
If I win Miss Universe Philippines, I will help my community by extending myself through the use of social media. And I want to use my platform to really use my voice to extend myself and to help my community by raising awareness. And I really want to show the people that I'm here, genuine, with or without the crown, that I really want to help and instill positivity and hope with everyone.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
I think the color that symbolizes a phenomenal woman is a color that you feel confident in. I think that it could be any color as long as you feel proud to wear it, and if you feel beautiful in it, then I think bagay na bagay sa'yo, di pak na pak.
What skills does the workplace of the future need, since working from home now is the new norm?
So the skills that that we need to have instilled into our home is, I think that kahit nasa bahay, dapat ganado pa rin sa bahay, and that we should still be appreciative of being at home, and that we're still being able to given the chance to work, and we should really appreciate that. Dapat ganado pa rin sa bahay, patuloy-tuloy pa rin ang trabaho. Just because we are in the new normal, it doesn't mean that life doesn't stop.
If you have a chance to name one spot, man-made or natural, in your province or city that you would like to promote to the world, what would it be and why?
Of course, I would want to promote the beautiful island of Boracay. Of course, it is known as paradise to many, and of course, it is a place where you can just relax, and it is incomparable to other places around the world even. It is one of the most highlighted tourist destinations of the Philippines, and most importantly, I think ang pinaka-importante, ang generosity, ang hospitality ng mga Aklanon.
So are you bringing us?
Pwede. Sige, tera. Yes, yes.
Well, there's a campaign to hashtag Love Local. Which local product would you promote and why?
Which local product I would promote? So, Love Local, the local product that I would promote siguro sa ngayon would probably be ang food natin. I think I would want to promote our food because our food is very relevant. No matter how old, how young we are, we can all sama-sama together, and it brings us all together.
And lastly, what one thing should young people like you focus on?
I think what young people should focus on is believing in themselves. I think from this journey I have learned to really believe in myself and to earn the confidence. And I think that a lot of young people, our young generation, is lacking today the belief and the confidence in themselves to push themselves forward and to also be positive and to uplift. If you are positive in yourself, then you can continue to uplift others. Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Okay, maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. Thank you po.
Hi, good morning. Kumusta?
Good day.
Oh,
Can you tell us something about yourself in 30 seconds?
of
Everything
course.
in 30 seconds.
Sige. So, I am Paula Madarieta Ortega and I'm representing the home of our majestic Mayon volcano, Albay. I am a full-blooded Filipina who was born and raised in Spain. I got my MedLab and nurse degrees in Universidad de Barcelona, Spain. And because I love nurturing people, I love helping people. I love reaching out to them. That's why I pursued to be a nurse. So, I love going out with my friends. I'm a social butterfly. I love dancing and... Sorry. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
of walking? Or you're
No, it's just nervousness. Sorry po.
Relax.
Okay.
What is one beautiful word in your language? If
Okay.
you know anything in Bicolano?
Bicolano.
What does it mean?
Daragan Magayon. Daragan Magayon is actually a legend in our Bicol area that is representing the beautiful mountains in our region, and it's about how beautiful our nature is. I think it really portrays that, and I really like that word, Daragan Magayon. Diba?
What one learning experience that you had as a child made much impact on you?
As a child, well, definitely a lot, but definitely it has to be about friendship. I've realized with time, I've always been very open to everyone, but I realized with time that you have to nurture your friendships in order to keep them and to be with them. Because if not, they will forget about you and you won't click with anymore. So yeah, friendship.
What one major lesson did you learn from your experiences during the pandemic?
Oh, so many. But the biggest realization is that you cannot control everything. There's things you can control, things you cannot control. So focus on the things you can control to improve yourself and actually make an impact to everyone. So yeah.
If you win the crown, how will you help your community?
Definitely, it would be by promoting and advocating how important the healthcare system is. And I think now it's very relevant and timely. People have realized if we don't have a healthcare system, everything goes down. So I really want to advocate that because it's a human right. We deserve proper healthcare. So I would promote healthcare.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
The colors of the Filipino flag, white, red, and blue. And gold, yeah. I think that's a phenomenal Filipino woman.
Okay, so working from home now is the new norm.
I know.
So, what skills does the workplace of the future need? What do you think is what skills does the workplace of the future need since almost everything now is
Online. Well, definitely having internet skills, computer skills. It's very now important to work with social media, with platforms such as Google Meet or Zoom, and also to really work with presentations because now we cannot present with our bodies. We have to present through a screen. So we have to make our best effort to present it on different platforms such as PowerPoint or more than there's out there to show what we have.
So, can you name one spot, whether it's man-made or natural, from Albay that you would like to promote to the world?
I might sound cliche, but I really love, and I think it's so majestic, our Mayon volcano. It has such a perfect triangle shape. It's a perfect volcano, diba? And what I love the most, it's still dangerous because it's still active. So that's a beauty in it. You have to take care of it and be aware of it in order to admire its beautiful, iconic figure.
Okay. Well, there's a campaign to hashtag Love Local. Which local product would you promote and why?
Well, as a chocolate lover, I would promote chocolate because actually it's very I found out it's very sustainable to grow cacao in our grounds and in our country. And for example, Dabao's chocolate is amazing. I always buy local chocolate from Dabao because it's really good and it's actually healthy. So best things in both worlds.
Okay, and lastly, what one thing should young people like you focus on?
To be truly yourself, to find your values, and that is something I will always instill on. Educate yourself, work, get out there, get out of your comfort zone and find what you want to do in your life in order to influence other people to do even better. So I want to instill that to our generation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. Oh, it was so lovely actually. Oh, I was expecting like political questions.
Good morning, everyone.
So, along with 32nd rule,
Yes, I was informed by Angel.
even with the first question that I'll ask you, tell us something about yourself.
Hello, my name is Pauline Cucharo Amlings. I'm your Boholana Belgian from, of course, the beautiful province of Bohol. My dad is a Belgian and I'm Filipina, so I'm like a mix of both cultures in one, and I'm very excited to be here today.
What is one beautiful word in your local language, and what does it mean?
I would like to choose the word pohon. It means hopefully. It's a word that we use whenever we talk about something that is going to happen in the future. Like, I'm going to join Miss Universe Philippines, pohon, hopefully, with God's blessing.
Next question. What is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made much impact on you?
One learning experience I had as a child was that I had to not be shy when it comes to myself and when it comes to my body and my capacities. I was very shy, always in the corner, but my mom and my dad always kept telling me, you have to really be out there. That's the only way for you to grow. That's the only way for you to shine.
And then, what is that one major lesson that you learned during this pandemic?
Whew. I think I learned so many things from cooking to planting, but I think one thing that I really learned is how interconnected everything really is. From the animal world to the human world, from communities, inter-province, and I think that just reminds me of the fact that we all play a part in fighting this pandemic and that we can all rise together.
Well, if you win the crown, how will you help your community?
I would want to be a spokesperson and a rallying point to bring people together in meaningful conversation and together look for solutions. And I think that with this platform of influence, that's something I can really do.
What color symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
Oh, that's very interesting. For this moment, I would like to choose pink. Pink is the color that would symbolize me as a phenomenal woman. And pink is also something that you will have to watch out for during my performances for preliminary or evening gown. I'm not going to mention which one, but I'll just tell you that. And it's also my favorite color. I have an emotional relation with that color because every time my dad would give me gifts, it would always be something pink.
I'm excited to see all your pink outfits in the next few days.
Yes.
I'm also excited to find out.
Yeah.
So if given a chance to promote to the world a spot, whether man-made or natural in Bohol, what would it be?
I would have to choose the Lobok River Cruise. The Lobok River, I don't know if you've tried it. I hope that you've had. You tried it? So hopefully then you agree with me. The Lobok River Cruise is really one of the more amazing things that you can do in Bohol. It's not just good food, it's not just you being on that river cruise, but it allows you to interact with the locals in dance and in song. And every time I'm there, I always make it a point for me to dance a tinikling with the locals, even though I risk getting my feet hurt with the bamboo. But it's really one of the things I would want everyone to know about here in Bohol.
Let's go on the work side now. No? That's recreation. Now let's go to the work side. We've been hearing the word work from home.
Yes.
So, what do you think are the skills that we need to develop for the workplace of the future, as we call it?
Whew, I have worked from home also during the first few months of the pandemic. I'm sorry, it's a bit cold. During the first few months of the pandemic. And I think patience is one thing that we all need to work on ourselves, especially with the internet connection that we have at home. There's so many times that I've had meetings and then my internet connection would fade out and then I wouldn't hear the rest of it. I think patience above everything else is something that we need to work on. And from then on, we at least have the clear mind to work on everything else.
There's a campaign called #LoveLocal.
Okay.
So if you had a local product that you had to promote, what would it be and why?
It would definitely be raffia from Tubigon Loom Weavers. I'm not wearing it at the moment. I will be wearing it for one of the segments.
So one of the things that I would also look forward to seeing.
Definitely, yes. I'm not going to indulge any more information about that, but raffia is really a product that's from my hometown in Tubigon, and it really takes so many people to make a raffia roll, and there's so much thought and effort that goes into it, and it's a beautiful product with so many possibilities.
What is one thing that you think young people should focus on?
At the moment, it's really staying strong and continuing their dreams of educating themselves, even during these pandemic times. We all are having a hard time, but that doesn't mean that our dreams, our passions are canceled. They're just on hold, and I think that they all need to have hope in their hearts to continue what they're dreaming on and to somehow make their dreams still come true.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you too. Thank you. It's Igorot inspired. Yes. Thank you.
But not very warm.
Not very warm indeed. I'll take that into consideration next time. Morning workout. Ano, parang good for a morning jog.
So you know the drill. 30 seconds you can speak Filipino or Filipino English if you want to. 30 seconds for a statement or answer. First question is, or statement, tell us something about yourself in 30 seconds.
Hi everyone, I'm Danica Madrid Reynes. I'm 28 years old. I'm passionate about music. I'm a singer-performer. I represented the Philippines in the World Championships of Performing Arts in Hollywood, California. And it's like Olympics for talent. And I'm also passionate about travel. I'm a former overseas Filipino worker as an international flight attendant based in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And that gave me the chance to travel and to support my family financially. And I met people from different walks of life.
Para naman hindi kami mag-bore buong araw na magtatanong, kanta ka naman konti. Sa sample lang sa
You are the universe, and there is nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do.
Here's your recording contract.
Oh,
Perfect choice.
agyaman ako.
Philippine Idol pala. Okay, so, pero you're not from Cagayan daw, lolo mo? Relative.
My mother is from Gonzaga, Cagayan po.
Pero may alam ka na local na language, words.
Yung alam ko pong Ilocano words is yung every time pinapagalitan ako ng nanay ko in Ilocano.
So I need one beautiful word in your local language, and what does it mean?
Agyamanak apo. Salamat, Diyos. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Yamalak means salamat. Yeah, Mario. Alright. So about your childhood naman, what is that learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
When I was a child, my parents brought me and my brother with them in a remote municipality in Visayas. So they went on a medical mission that went for a few years. I was still a toddler that time, and that's life-changing for me because at a very young age, I was able to experience that humble life. No electricity at night, chickens everywhere. It is a remote municipality, and so growing up, I aspire to be like my parents.
Next, what is that most important lesson that you learned during this pandemic?
I've learned how to be grateful each day. Like today is a great day to be alive. So, and I've learned not to take things for granted. Like for example, my loved ones, I already miss them. So every kiss, every touch, every small conversations that you have with them, don't take it for granted. And also, for the society, I've learned that it doesn't discriminate. So why do that to your brothers and sisters? I've learned a lot.
If you win Miss Universe Philippines, how will you help your community?
I uphold music and arts therapy. I believe in the power of our skills and talents because I know that we have to give importance to our mental health because it's just as important as physical health. And so for the youth, whenever they use their talents to empower themselves, they will channel their energy into that straight path and they will be away from the bad influences of life. So I think that we must empower the youth with their talents.
What do you think, what color do you think symbolizes the phenomenon woman?
Color?
Yeah.
The color red. Because I think red is the universal color for love. And if you're a phenomenal woman, you should be filled with love. Love not just for yourself, for God, for family, for everyone. Because the universe is so vast. And I think that Miss Universe Philippines must have a spacious space of her heart to give to everyone.
Speaking of space, we've been hearing the word work from home. Ito yung narinig natin recently. So what skills do you think do we need for this, for the so-called work from home, which is the workplace of the future?
I always see my father working from home because he's one of the vulnerable groups. So he must stay at home. And I saw that since he is so used to working with other people, I saw how he adjusted very well. So I think we must do the same. Whatever work we have, we must be very adapted to our environment. We must not be choosy. We must be thankful that we are alive and with our families. So I think that any skills would also be enhanced when you're in a quarantine working from home, such as cooking, gardening, plantita.
Okay. Can you name one spot, whether man-made or natural, in your province that you would like to promote to the world?
You guys should go to Calao Cave. So it's composed of 7 chambers. So you can just imagine. And then I went to this main cave. It has a natural dent. So you don't need any electricity because the sunlight will go directly there. And then there's an altar, there's a grotto, and you can even have weddings there. So it's very natural, energy-saving location. And I hope that it will be very famous soon all over the world.
So there's a campaign called #LoveLocal. So what local product would you want to promote and why?
There's this local product from my childhood, and up to now, it's still my favorite, the Carabao sweet candy. I think it should be distributed to the whole world because it's actually the asset of Cagayan province because we produce not just agricultural products, we also have the livestock products, and one of those, of course, is from the Carabao. So I know you guys have already tried that, but I think the whole world must try that too.
I know Carabao Smith. And last question is, what one thing do you think should young people focus on? Young people like you.
Young people like me? I think since we have pandemic and since most people are now at home and they are really relying on internet and everything, I think we must not cancel special education. we must not cancel our work, education, and all our priorities even before the pandemic. Because even though that we have this pandemic all around us, life is not canceled, and we must go on because there's always hope.
Thank you.
Agyaman, anak.
FA look. My specialty. Oh, can I move this? Yeah, okay. Hi.
30 seconds for question from us. The first one would be, can you tell us more about yourself?
Okay, so maray na aga sa Indugabos. I'm Crisaline Moreno. You can call me Kia. I'm 25 years old and I'm representing my beautiful province of Camarines Sur. I graduated magna cum laude from the University of Santo Tomas. I took up travel management because it has been a childhood dream of mine to become a flight attendant. So now, sorry, the stairs, really, it's hard. So yeah, now I'm working as a flight attendant for Cebu Pacific.
What is one beautiful word in your local language? And what does it mean?
One beautiful word. It's magayon. Actually, it literally means beautiful. And for me, magayon does not mean being beautiful physically, but also inside. When you say someone is magayon, she or he is beautiful inside and outside. So of course you are. We are all magayon. Oragon. It's Oragon in Bicol. Another word, very beautiful word. It means strong and palaban, Oragon.
Next question. What is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
One learning experience, I really value education. I am an overachiever ever since I was a little kid. So I really try to do my best in terms of my studies. That's why I was able to graduate with Latin honors because I value the gift of education given to me by my parents because I believe that this will pave the way for me to get more opportunities in life, to reach my dreams. So this, through education, I was able to learn a lot of things and, yeah.
So what about in this pandemic? What is the most important lesson that you learned?
The most important lesson that I've learned in this pandemic is the value of helping one another and compassion and solidarity. I am very proud that us Filipinos, were able to show the true spirit of bayanihan through helping one another, even if we are struggling in our own ways and we are helping one another in our little ways. And I believe that there is hope in unity and solidarity.
If you win as Miss Universe Philippines, how will you help your community?
I can be able to be of help to my community in a lot of ways. First of all, I will be a spokesperson to the causes that the organization is pushing for and to my cause, which is pushing for responsible tourism. It is mainly educating people on how they can become responsible travelers as well as locals. I believe it's very timely and relevant that we instill in us the values of responsibility, discipline, and respect because it is how we will progress as a nation.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenon woman?
A color that symbolizes the phenomenal woman is, for me, it's color white. White for me is very simple. You know, you don't to be phenomenal, you don't have to be extravagant. You just have to be simple and pure and clean as the color white.
Okay. A lot of people are doing work from home now.
Yeah.
So what do you think are the skills needed for what you call the workplace of the future?
Yeah, for me, it's very important that you know technical skills. Of course, you have to be acquainted with how you use the computer. It's hard to work from home if you're not used to using the computer. And of course, you have to know how to talk to people, to communicate, because most of the time now we are using Zoom, and you have to be able to know how to talk, to converse with people, and to communicate with them to be effective.
if there's one spot man-made or natural in Camarines Sur that you would like to promote to the world, what would it be?
Of course, definitely. I would like to promote Caramoan Islands. It's one of the beautiful islands that I've been to in the Philippines. You know, I've been to a lot of places here in the Philippines, and Caramoan Islands is really magnificent. It's a group of islands where we have white sand beaches, we have cliffs where you can climb, we have a lot of tourist destinations where you can island hop or extreme adventure. So I would really like to promote Caramoan. It's also very famous in Camarines Sur.
There's a campaign to hashtag love local. What
Yeah.
local product would you like to promote and why?
Local product in Camarines Sur that I would want to promote is the pili nut. We are very famous for that. We have been the province that is abundantly producing pili nuts, and for me, it's very timely that we promote that because to harvest the pili nut, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time to produce just the pili nut itself, and it's also very healthy and it's delicious as well. I hope you have tried it.
Yeah, your last question is what do you think young people should focus on?
I think young people should focus on their dreams. They should know what their purpose, their passion in life is, because that will drive them to what they want to achieve in life. And they should focus on making themselves better and turning their weaknesses into their advantages. So I think that the youth should focus on themselves and to become responsible citizens in our community. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor and pleasure to be in front of you. Thank you. Just mabalas po.
Who would you say was your inspiration for your performance today?
Thank you.
Hello, so you know the drill is 30 seconds per question. 30 seconds na may bell. Hindi bell, tulipan.
Okay.
Tell us something about it.
Hello, I'm Secret Grace Flores from Cotanduanes. I'm a missionary, a motivational speaker. I'm also a charity worker and a founder of a charitable group.
What is one beautiful word in your local language and what does it mean?
Magayon. That means beautiful. And I think that there's just so much beauty in my language, in my dialect, in my province, Catanduanes, because not just it offers a lot of beautiful tourist spots, but it actually is amazing because even if it is situated in a very calamity-prone place, it gives so much symbolism of strength and resilience to not just in.
What is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
As a child, I experienced growing in a riles ng tren. And it is where I actually found my life goal and my purpose. I resolved that I would use my life to create a language of hope and a narrative of hope to be a representation of love to the people who are in the underprivileged area. So when I was able to get out of that situation, I really committed myself and did my best to be a better version of myself. And now I'm a charity worker. Thank you.
In this pandemic, what is the most important lesson that you learned?
The very important lesson that I learned is to do away with apathy. And that's always what I believed in, because I believe that people are naturally compassionate and loving. And I think that it is an eye-opener that we need each other to see each other through, especially in times like this. And I've seen how we've come together. And I know that if we become of one heart, we can overcome any crisis, even this pandemic.
If you win the crown, how will you help your...
For such a time as this, I believe that we need a queen that knows how to unite people's hearts. And especially now that we are in the middle of the pandemic, I will educate people about the role of charity and helping out. And I will compel them to be involved in the arena of charity, because I believe that it is our role to see each other through. And of course, if we become one heart, we are going to be an unstoppable force. Thank you.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
I think the color that represents a phenomenal woman is yellow, because it is actually a color that's and especially hope. And I think that is what we need right now.
Okay, working from home is the new norm.
Yeah.
So what skills do you think we need for what we call the workplace of the future?
I think that it is amazing how the pandemic allowed us to become more resourceful and creative. And personally, what I learned is that we should optimize the social media. And I am a motivational speaker. Before, I used to go to events, but now I was able to do motivational speaking engagements even through online. So there are a lot of people who would contact me, and I was able to do as effective, even if I was not there in a physical place.
Can you name one spot, man-made or natural, from Catanduanes that you'd like to promote to the world?
Oh, I'd love to promote Puraaran. It is a surf spot, and I really love the beach. I'm a beach person, and aside from that, it actually showcases what we are known for, the land of the howling winds. So we have very good waves, and I think that if I will be able to showcase it to the world, the world will know that Catanduanes is a force to reckon with.
There's a campaign to hashtag Love Local. So when it comes to products, local products, what would you like to promote and why?
I think I would promote abaca. It is very native to Catanduanes and endemic to Philippines, distinctly Filipino. It is not just world acclaimed when it comes to its quality. It is also it symbolizes strength and resilience of not just Catanduanes, of course, but the Filipinos. And I think if it will be given, if it will be given enough attention and research, it will help us to be recognized internationally.
And the last question is, what do you think young people should focus on?
I think the young people should focus on working on bettering themselves, finding out their passion and purpose, because when they know their passion and purpose, that can serve as their internal compass, and they will never go wrong in life. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone.
30 seconds for every question. Tell us something about it.
I'm Billy Hackinson. I'm representing Cavite. I work as a flight attendant and I've been flying for 4 years now. I am a dog person. I love to cook. I love staying at home. And I'm a bisexual and I'm proud to be here. It's the coffee, it helped.
What is the one beautiful word in Filipino since you're from Cavite? And what does
It would be kamusta. It shows concern. It shows that you really want to know something about the person, especially how the person is. And usually the reply is also kamusta. It reciprocates and the care is there. It is a legit communication between two people.
Next question. So what is that learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact?
I think if it's about lesson, it's lesson of being forgiving. It's something that I can carry out all throughout my life because keeping grudges in you is going to impact you more as a person instead of the other person that you're mad about. You have to be forgiving about everything. And I think it has to start from as early as a child because you have to bring it with you all throughout your life and you have to be able to share this to everyone as well.
What about in this pandemic? What do you think is the biggest lesson that you learned?
That we have to ask for help. That there should be no shame in asking for help. And I experienced this especially with this journey because I live alone in Cebu. That's where I'm based. And that altruism is actually still evident in the world today. That cooperation is actually the key in challenges such as this.
If you win the Miss Universe crown, how will you help your community?
If it's in Cavite, I already started a a few organizations. It's not really me who started it, but I've been a part of it. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, I've been working for 4 years now, and I have been trying to support my family, and I haven't been really in-depth in terms of helping the community, but I would want to start doing so with the help of the Miss Universe organization.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
Chartreuse.
Spell.
Green na lang. Green na lang. It's a very hard color to pull off, but I think with the right level of confidence, I can do it.
Cavite has a very soft spot in my heart.
Oh.
So, but I think I grew up there, or my family's from Cavite. But if you have to name one spot, whether it's man-made or natural, that you'd like to promote to the world, what spot in Cavite would it be?
I think the pineapple farms of Silang Cavite. That's where I grew up. So going to school, going back home, I always pass by that. And the farmers there are really, really nice. We have a sari-sari store, and they would bring pineapples every morning if they can. And I love the sour ones, especially the ones that are not yet hinog. And I think that needs more promotion. That needs more, it can be promoted further. You can do other stuff with pineapples. We can make fabrics out of it, but it's not exposed.
Well, there's also a lot of people doing work from home now.
Yes.
So, what do you think are the skills that's needed in this so-called workplace of the future?
I think charisma and confidence is something that transcends the screen. It is something that you can show to everyone, even with the barrier of internet connection, technology, and screen. But I have to admit, something that's lacking is still warmth. And I think we have to work on that more. We have to translate it to people that we are still warm, that we are still loving, even if we're support you. My warmth and my heart is still there. And I think that is something that we can really practice, especially us Filipinos, that we are really, really warm people.
There's a campaign to hashtag love local. So what local products do you want to promote and why? Pineapples pa rin ba?
Maybe that's one, but since I love to cook, siguro Filipino food. I don't know why, but Filipino food is very diverse, but it's not really well known. We have Vietnamese food, we have pho, we have a lot of Asian food, but Filipino food is not really up there. So probably sisig. We have adobo, who is actually kind of Spanish, but we made a twist on it. We have sinigang, who is authentically Filipino. So I think that would be the first one, because a way to someone's heart is always through their stomach, especially for me.
The last question is, what is one thing you think young people should focus on?
I think they should focus on being more self-aware. They have been looking outside through their phones, comparing themselves with other people, when in fact they haven't really looked inside yet. They haven't observed and appreciated their strengths, their power, their weaknesses, what things they have to improve on. They've been so focused on molding themselves into packages of beauty and standards and hypes. I think they have to be more self-aware of themselves. They have to look deep within them, find that motivation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grabe yung likod ko. It's full moon niya.
Mayong udto.
Tell us something about yourself.
Mayong udto ninyo tanan. Good noon. My name is Tracy Maureen Perez. I'm representing my hometown, Cebu City. I'm an industrial engineer by profession. I'm also a model and a beauty queen based in Cebu City. And an interesting fact about myself that I'm very proud of is that I'm a miracle baby. Life is an absolute blessing for me, and I take every chance that I can get to learn from every experience, both good and bad, so that I can definitely live my life to the fullest.
What is one beautiful word in Cebuano, and what does it mean?
Guapa. Definitely guapa for me, because it can mean a beautiful person, a beautiful experience, a beautiful place. And that for me is
I think, the most beautiful word that I can say about a Cebuano word, and that represents the Filipino and the Cebuano culture.
Next question. So what is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
The biggest learning definitely is to be grateful. And again, I'm a miracle baby, and my mom has always taught me that this life was given to me. It was a blessing to me. And so, yes, I take every chance that I can get to just experience, to have fun, and to make the most out of every situation, and to because that is the most important for me, connecting with people and connecting with them through experiences.
So in this pandemic, what do you think is the most important lesson that you learned?
During this pandemic, aside from taking care of our health, of course, health is the most important wealth that we have. It's also making sure that we have a safety net, that we are financially stable as much as possible, because that has been one of the biggest problems of every family in this country, financial instability because of what happened. The pandemic has uprooted so many people and so many businesses, and I think if we can learn from this, we should be able to be more prepared next time.
If you win the crown, how will you help your community?
If I will be given this huge platform, I will push for equal opportunities for women, both in the workplace and in the school, in gaining access to education, because I think that women are already intelligent, smart, and powerful, empowered, but we have to give them the opportunity so that they can broaden and widen their horizons and be the best that they can be and reach their utmost and best potential.
What color do you think represents the phenomenon woman?
Definitely red. It's my favorite color. It's fiery, passionate, and it screams hope. It gives you life. Red for me is a definition of being powerful and being confident with who you are and showing to people what you can do, what you can be.
Work from home is now the norm, right?
Definitely.
So, what do you think are the skills needed to this so-called workplace of the future?
I'm actually working from home as well. For the past 2 years, actually, I've been working as a freelance. And I think that it's a beautiful opportunity for everyone transitioning online, transitioning into working from home. Not only does it does it have a lot of benefits to the businesses in terms of costs, but at the same time, for the people who are working, they have to develop that sense of resilience and being able to tell themselves, I have to wake up early and do my best every single day, even if no one is watching.
So, if there's one spot, man-made or natural, in Cebu City that you'd like to promote to the world, what would it be?
Definitely the Basilica del Santo Niño. That is the most historic place in Cebu City, and that is the exact reason why we celebrate Sinulog Festival. We gather so many people from all over the world, both locals and tourists, foreigners and Filipinos, so that we can celebrate the diversity of every single human being. And that is one of the most celebrated festivities in the country, and I'm very proud of that.
There's a campaign to hashtag love local. So which local product do you want to promote and why?
Lechon. I'm such a foodie. Lechon. Definitely, I'm sure a lot of people, if not everyone, loves lechon. It's one of my absolute favorites. I eat it. I try to eat it every week. Even if I'm from Cebu, I don't get used to how good it tastes, and it's definitely best paired with puso or the hanging rice. Puso or the hanging rice. So if you guys can visit Cebu sometime, I would love to bring you there.
What is the one thing you think young people should focus on?
Young people should focus on finding their true selves, finding their purpose. With the social media, with the age of social media, we tend to get lost and we tend to copy a lot of people that we forget who we truly are and what we stand for and what we deserve. We deserve so much more if you really just look into ourselves, focus on our core values, and just stick to that, then we will be able to reach our full potential and be the best person we can be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lechon.
Miss Lechon. You'll remember me for Miss Lechon. Puso. But I'm glad that you know the term puso because not a lot of people know that it's the hanging rice. Sarap.
Sa Larsian tayo.
Larshan, at saka ano, pungko-pungko. It was the best that I could give.
It was me.
Yes.
For 30 seconds per question. Tell us something about you.
Hi everyone, my name is April Smith. I'm 24 years old and I'm from the province of Cebu. And I am a daughter of a late former PBA basketball player, Daryl Smith. And we're four in the family. I am the youngest and I'm the only girl. And I have a transgender sister who's the one who introduces me to modeling and pageantry world.
What is one beautiful word in your local language? And what does it mean?
Word is, for me, is guapa. You can differentiate guapa in every aspect, in all forms of Cebu. And any forms, beauty, food, and there's diversity. And I'm bringing the whole province of Cebu and also the island and the festive island of Cebu. It's guapa.
What is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
Oh, there's only one thing that I could share to you is that the man of my life passed away, whom I can call my father. His peaceful goodbye changed my perspective in life because before I was a girl who is called a happy-go-lucky. But then I learned that we need to value time, especially to our loved ones, family, and friends, and cherish each moments with them because we never know when our time is up. So I think valuing time is very important as a kid. Thank you.
So, so in this pandemic, what do you think is the most important lesson that you've learned?
Yeah, in this pandemic, the important lesson that I've learned is still valuing time because all of us are working nonstop, studying nonstop, and we didn't notice about what happens in our surroundings. So I think valuing time is very important in this pandemic, and you really can see what's the difference, what happened to this pandemic. And I can say that still valuing time is the very important that the lesson happened to me.
If you win, how will you help your community?
I will help my community by my advocacy because my advocacy is through youth sports and for anti-bullying. And being a Cebuana is a very important to me because as a child I've experienced discriminated and being bullied, and no one was there for me. No one was someone to lean on, someone who could say everything is okay because I am here, because being discriminated does not beat you physically but will corrupt you mentally and emotionally. And I want to share that to my friends.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
The color symbolizes phenomenal woman is lavender. For me, I think lavender represents a very refreshing to your eyes, and I think that is a phenomenal woman. And it's lavender for me is a new perspective in life. It's a very optimistic and a very positive, because as a positive person, no matter may the things may not turn out the way you expected, we always see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I can say lavender is a nice color.
If there is one spot, man-made or natural, in the province of Cebu that you'd like to promote to the world, what would it be?
That would be aside from the Kawasan Falls, which is located in Badian, that would be the Buho River, which is located in Aluginsan, Cebu. This may not be very known, but I want to promote it because it's very beautiful in there. And as I experience going there, it's so very peaceful. It's so very, you can meditate there. It's so nice. So I want to promote it.
Tara?
Thank you.
Tara?
Let's go. I'll be your tour guide.
Okay, so ngayon naman you hear the word working from home, work from home, work from home. So what do you think are the skills needed to this so-called workplace of the future?
I think workplace in the future, in this amidst of pandemic, I think I would really promote online selling because it's very timely. And I think while promoting online selling and this livelihood really help other local and support local products. And by supporting this online selling, I think it should also support the internet connectivity here in the Philippines.
I think you're familiar with the hashtag Love Local.
Yes.
So if you had a choice, which local product do you want to promote and why?
I would love to promote the guitars in Cebu province because it's already known by international that the Lapu-Lapu city already was the number one in making of the guitars. So I want to promote, and my brother is also musician, so she 11 guitars at home. Yes.
And then the last question is, what is one thing you think that young people like you should focus on?
Ooh. Young people should focus on greater self because it's very important, and that's what I've learned a long ago as I've grown. And being adopting yourself and accepting yourself is very important, and know your worth, because before I really didn't know what my worth is. So now I want to promote that. Sorry. It's okay.
So why here? Wala akong tissue.
May alcohol kasi ito.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Masakit sa mata. Masakit sa mata.
Oh, why? So, what's your take on
But you have to get it.
I'm so sorry.
Fine.
Because as a Cebuana, I've experienced a lot of discriminated and bullying, and I didn't know that I have this worth of joining any pageants. And when Leila Lopez won Miss Universe, I really got inspired. So by there, I want to be inspiration to the little April Smith who look up to me now, because there are some people who really message me that they're inspired by me, and I remember that I was in their footsteps as well before. So I really want to promote that one and break the stereotype of joining beauty pageants, not just mestiza, and yun. So sorry. Oh my God. So sorry. Yeah, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Maayong buntag. Okay, I have so many things to say about myself. I'm Inday Eliza Malinaw, and I'm nervous and excited. And I've always believed that Inday can do whatever I set my eyes and heart into. So, kinakabahan talaga ako. Okay. Nung bata pa ako, naalala ko, hindi ako binibigyan ng parents ko ng pera. So, sabi ko, okay, nakita ko na opportunity ko sa farm ng lolo ko. I'm sorry, it was 30 seconds.
Were you briefed about 30 seconds?
Yes.
30 seconds per.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So, okay, second question. So you have 30 seconds to answer this.
Okay.
So what is one beautiful word in your local language or dialect, and what does it mean?
Padayon. That means continue. In life, I've failed so many times, but in our language, we are taught that no matter how many times you fall, you have to stand back up and smile and move forward. I'm so nervous, Mom. I'm so nervous.
Third question. What is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
Oh, that was when I worked in our farm, in my grandfather's farm. Kasi hindi ako binibigyan ng pera. So I realized, okay, magtatrabaho ako sa farm para may extra allowance ako. And then I realized na if and you are hardworking, you can get whatever it is that you want in life. And now I'm here.
What is that one major lesson that you learned from this pandemic?
That food is very difficult to get from the farm to your table. And that was a life-changing event for me to be able to volunteer in an organization called Move Food Initiative. I learned how to become a driver, a tindera, maybe a farmer sometimes, but now I respect farmers even more, and I hope I can teach everyone to really value the food on their table.
If you win the crown, how will you help your community?
I have been helping my community even though I don't have the crown yet. When the pandemic happened, I connected them to our municipal hall and asked for seeds. And now I'm looking at succeeding as an entrepreneur for our Vanilla Dream Farm so I can help not only our community but the entire now as well. We are targeting to help the coconut farmers and plant vanilla in between. So not only that, I mean like, ba't ako kinakabahan? I'm so excited to be here. Okay, relax, Liza, relax. Okay.
Madali lang to. What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
Yellow. Actually, this violet, but my favorite color is yellow. Because when you see yellow, it captures your attention right away and makes you happy. And it's bright, brings you joy. That's me.
So, if there is one spot in Davao City, man-made or natural, that you would like to promote to the world, what would it be?
Well, Davao City is known to be the home of the Dutertes, but we are also a home of 11 ethno-linguistic groups. So we transformed one park into a place where people can visit and meet all the 11 ethno-linguistic groups, including their houses, what they have in their homes, their costumes, and their people. And I want you to get to know them more.
Let's go. Another thing that we hear a lot nowadays is work from home. So they say this is the workplace of the future. So what skills do you think workplace of the future?
When the pandemic happened, I was able to grow a garden in my balcony, and I believe in sustainability. So I think people should learn how to grow their own food in their backyard or balcony. So no matter how many pandemics happen, hopefully nothing will come in the future. They will be food secure and they will never go hungry.
There's a campaign, hashtag Love Local. So, you're doing your part.
Yes,
What local product do you want to promote and why?
Definitely the vegetables of the farmers. I want to make sure that one day we can help the food system be better because there are so many things that we can promote, but we are not helping our farmers to make sure that they can reach the markets. And I want to help them to be able to reach the markets right away, so no more food will be wasted. Thank you.
Question is, what is one thing you think young people like you should focus on?
Themselves. You can never get anywhere if you don't know who you are. You know who you are, you know where you are going. So with me, I know that I am a farmer, and no matter how many places I visit, I would always go back to the farm, and that's where I want to improve my community and my family.
Thank you. That was the last question.
Okay. More.
Hi, good morning po.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning po.
How are you?
I'm cold.
Are you cold?
Yeah, it's cold. Wala lang, trip ko lang.
Feel mo lang.
Yes.
Okay, so you can speak in your language if you'd like to.
Ooh.
Me, pwede rin na English. Walang yata nagbibisaya sa amin dito pero pwede yung subtitle yun.
Okay.
30 seconds lang.
Okay.
Every answer. Tell us something about it.
My name is Wam Ahmed. The meaning of my name is peace. I love reading books and I love sketching.
What is one beautiful word in your local language? This one. And
Padayon.
What does it mean?
Padayon means to keep on going, to continue. So it's related to my advocacy rin kasi about mental health awareness. So padayon.
Next question. What is that one learning experience that you had when you were a child that made so much impact on you?
The lesson that I had to be vulnerable. Na I have to be human in order to grow more. Kasi before, I was such a shy kid na talagang enclosed talaga lahat. And then growing up, I realized it's okay to actually just be vulnerable and affectionate because that's where we grow.
And then what about in this pandemic? What do you think is the most important lesson that you've learned?
The most important lesson that I've learned is to just keep on going. No matter how hard it is, no matter how frustrated you are, no matter how dark it is, just keep on going kasi even though you're frustrated, towards the end of this tunnel, lagi talaga may bright side.
If you win, how will you help your community?
If I would win, I'd like to give more recognition about my advocacy po, mental health awareness po. More on sa province ko po, Davao del Norte. I have to start small muna. I have to start with my province first. And with the children talaga.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
I think the color that symbolizes a phenomenal woman is red because it's fierce, it's passionate, and it's empowering.
Okay, if there's one spot, man-made or natural, in Davao del Norte that you would like to promote to the world, what would it be?
To promote Talaingod because it's a municipality in my province na punong-puno ng IP and it isn't that visited that much. Kasi ang binibisita talaga sa amin is Sabal Island kasi nga the beaches and everything. But when you go to Talaingod, you would see the culture talaga doon and you would appreciate it even more.
Okay, so another question. You've been hearing the word work from home, work from home, work from home.
Yes.
So siya, kumbaga. So what do you think are the skills needed to this so-called
Work at home.
workplace of the future?
I feel like work at home, kailangan talaga disiplina because it's so hard to work at an environment where you're used to being relaxed talaga. So environment really matters when it comes to doing certain kinds of things. So I really think the disiplina talagang pinaka-importante.
There's a campaign that's called #LoveLocal.
Yes.
So if it were up to you, which local product would you want to push and why?
I'm wearing the local product I like to push. This is actually the first ever fabric sa province ko, in Davao del Norte. This is Musa fabric. It's made out of banana fiber. Kasi usually sa Mindanao, ang ginagamit is talaga is tinalak, if you noticed. And this is the first ever Musa fabric, made out of banana fibers. So I'm proudly representing this. Yes.
Kahit malamig, di ba?
Oh. Thank you po.
Last question. What is one thing you think that young people should focus on?
I think young people should focus on themselves and on their mental health because it is important to put yourself first when it comes to situations. Yourself has to come first talaga before other people.
Thank you. Good night.
You know po?
Yeah.
Okay po. Thank you so much. Miss Joy Su po. Sa Davao del Norte.
Yung bag ng bigat mo, sir. Yung bag ng bigat. Kanya yung ano? Opo, malawa. Hindi pala pwedeng hawakan.
Okay, 30 seconds lang to for ano.
Opo, sige po.
Kasi 5 minutes lang per sure. Sige. Tell us something about yourself.
So, naimbag nga bigat kada kayo amin. My name is Adalma Crisel Benicta. I'm 26 years old and I represent the beautiful province of Ilocos Sur. So, as you know, I am a frontliner myself and working in this time of pandemic is a bit challenging but a fulfilling one because for me, knowing that I'm able to help them in times of their need is a fulfillment in itself. Hiningal po ako, sorry. Opo, medyo napagod. Sorry. Opo. Yeah. But aside from that, sorry. Okay po, sige. I work as a nurse po in one of the public hospitals in my province, Ilocos Sur.
What is one beautiful word in your local language and what does it mean? So kanina mo sinabi si Baguio, ang ganda-ganda.
So for if I would choose a beautiful word that translates to my dialect, that would be napintas. Napintas translates to beautiful. And I believe, as I stand here, I represent Napintas Abalasang, an Ilocana who shows to the world, confident that she has a heart to inspire other people. And I hope that showing my talents and skills as an Ilocana inspires other people also to inspire others.
Bagtik ang sinabi niya.
Mauyong. Mauyong, parang bagtit din po yun.
So what is that learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
Well, as a child, I've always been malikot. So I've always had to stumble. And these scars on my knees are representations that I'm a malikot. But the learning experience that I've had is always learning how to stand back up. And, you know, before I became Miss Ilocos, I had to try 3 times. So that represents how perseverant and hardworking as I am. Because that represents Ilocana. We are resilient, full of grit, full of love and inspiration.
What about in this pandemic? What is the most important lesson that you learned?
There are a lot of learnings that I've learned in this pandemic. One thing is to have that attitude of gratitude, sir. You know, I've always taught myself to always look for the things that I have in life, for the family that I have, for the friends that I have, because I've learned through the learning journeys in this Miss Universe that it's okay to have these people around you to share the feelings that you have, because you know you can never do things alone. And I think that's an important thing to have, to always be grateful.
Adele, if you win the crown, how will you help your community?
I've thought of that a long time, but it was really hard to think of one thing to really spark that answer. So, but I feel like if I win Miss Universe, I can help my community by being the voice, because there are a lot of people in our community that don't have the voice to let out their needs. And as a nurse myself, I want to show to, or I want to be the voice to the nurses because, okay, sorry, nabibitin. Pero it's okay.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
A color that symbolizes a phenomenal woman for me is white. As you can see, I am wearing white because I believe that purity is important to become a phenomenal woman that you are. And to be a phenomenal woman, you have to know in your heart that whatever, as long as it is pure and as long as it is kind, to have these people around you have a better life. I think that's one thing that you can do to uplift lives of others.
So working from home is now a norm. So what skills do you think is needed to this so-called workplace of the future?
Yes, sir. It's really hard to work at home, especially for those who have this type of setting. But as for me, as I'm a nurse and I don't know their experience, but I think one skill that you should have if you are working from home is knowing how to thrive, because you have to adjust to the things that's happening right now. And if you learn to adjust and accept the things that's happening right now and have that positive mindset, you can always overcome what it is.
If there is one spot, man-made or natural, in Ilocos Sur that you would like to promote to the world, what would it be?
I'm originally from the municipality of Bantay, and if there's one spot that I would like to show to the world, then that probably is the Bantay Bell Tower, because it's a spot wherein it is a hill and overlooking the view of our province. And I think that's a great opportunity for if someone has ever to visit our province. That's like showing to them in a top view of Ilocos Sur that we are a beautiful province. We are full of nature and, of course, beautiful people.
So that's a hashtag love local, right? So if you had a choice, which local product do you want to support and why?
Yes, I support local products, and I think that would be obvious because I'm wearing one now. So if there's one thing that I would like to introduce, that's the Abel Iloco. I believe that this Abel Iloco dress made by an Ilocano designer is a representation of how Ilocos Sur has a great culture and heritage, and it represents how we Ilocanos are talented and artistic, because the process of making the Abel Iloco is labor intrinsic.
The last question is, what is one thing you think young people like you should focus on?
I believe, sir, that what young people should be working on, focusing on, should be their dreams. They should really know what their goals in life and knowing how their authenticity is. Because, in this learning journey, I believe that knowing yourself truly and knowing your purpose and having that vision of who you want to become and how you can use that to be an inspiration to others is important. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. I am Rabia Oxanio Mateo, 23, representing the City of Love, Iloilo. I am biracial. I'm sorry. I didn't introduce myself na. Yes.
Okay. So, 30 seconds lang, given the introduction, tell us something about yourself.
I'm actually biracial. My mom is an Ilongga and my dad is an Indian. If you can see through my features. However, I was raised in a broken family, and I experienced a really poor life. And I was able to rise from our situation as well because of educating people, because of educating myself. And now I decided to give back to my community, and I became a lecturer for physical therapy. That's why I was able to go to.
What is one beautiful word in your local language and what does it mean?
One beautiful word would probably guapa, which means beautiful. I feel like we have this statement in Iloilo, basta Ilongga guapa, which means every Ilongga is beautiful. And I'm very proud that with Miss Universe Philippines, I was able to bring that kind of aspect that every Filipino would know that statement, basta Ilongga guapa.
Next question. So, what is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
If there would be one thing that I learned through my mother, that would be always forgive people, because there's no such thing as a perfect person. And when my dad left us, she never speak ill about him. That's why in every situation, even though other people would hurt me, I still choose them.
What about in this pandemic? What is the most important lesson that you learned?
You know what? Even though you're struggling, you can still become the symbol of hope. I myself, I had fears, uncertainty, but I still realized that I could still give back to Iloilo City. Out of my pocket, I decided to cook for the frontliners, and I know that's just a simple way, but that's my best way to help our modern heroes.
If you win the crown, how will you help your community? Well, you mentioned that, but are there other things that you plan to do when you win the crown?
Being a Miss Universe, you become influential. So I want to go back to my advocacy, which is Feed Me and I Read You program, which we help those children living near the dump site. If you have seen my Beyond the Coastline video, I want to go back there, and we need a lot of materials, learning materials. And I feel like being a Miss Universe, I will be able to pull donors into our project to make it foster even better.
What's the name of the program again?
Feed Me and I Read You program.
What color do you think symbolizes the phenomenal woman?
I feel that a phenomenal woman is red, because red is power and I am red.
Work from home is now a norm. So what do you think are the skills needed to this future workspace or future workplace of the future? Sorry.
As of the moment, I am working from home because we don't have classes, live classroom classes. That's why we decided to conduct our lectures online. I feel like nowadays we need to adopt to the situation. So we need to be versatile in what is happening around us. And online business or working from home is such a huge opportunity for us to spend more time with our family and as well trying to enjoy the life.
If you can name one spot, man-made or natural, in your in Iloilo City, what would it be?
I would definitely want to bring all of you to Haro Cathedral because you know what, in Iloilo we don't have much of natural spots, but Haro Cathedral is like an establishment that witnessed the love and devotion that Ilonggos have towards God, and I feel like it's been there since the Spanish era. So with timeless memories and modernization, we were able to, arrive to be the Ilonggos that we are today.
There's a campaign. So, if it were up to you, which local product do you want to promote and why?
You know what? It was also asked to me during Miss Iloilo, and I want to bring to the global community our very own hablon. That is our indigenous fabric, and I feel like it enriches the culture of not just Iloilo but of our country. Every time I wear hablon, I don't just wear Iloilo but I wear Philippines.
Last question. What is one thing young people like you should focus on?
You need to invest in yourself. As of the moment, there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of bashers or backlash. But at the end of the day, when you practice self-love, you get to know the right weapon in order for you to win life. And I feel like right now, I am ripe enough to win the competition because I've done everything that I could to transform to become a phenomenal woman that I am. Thank you. Thank you po. Actually, at first, I was kind of hesitant because
So, how are you?
I'm good po. How are you guys?
30 seconds lang for what? Tell us something about yourself.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Kimchi Crizaldo. You might be wondering why I'm named Kimchi. I was born in South Korea because my parents were working there before, and I was named after the Korean appetizer kimchi. So I'm currently working as a flight attendant, and one of my greatest achievement in my career is that I was a presidential cabin crew. And right now, I'm currently studying my master's in business administration in Ateneo because I also want to have a business in the future and so that I can control my time and schedule. Thank you. Sorry, wait.
Final schedule ng boses na
Oh my gosh.
Kaya mo yan, kaya mo yan.
What is one beautiful word in your local language, and what does it mean?
Guapa, that means beautiful. I think every Ilonggo people are beautiful in our own ways. Whatever we have, whatever color of our skin, whatever how our physical features are, we are all beautiful in our own ways as long as we accept and acknowledge our fears and our flaws and insecurities. Then we are beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is that one learning experience that you had as a child that made so much impact on you?
One learning experience when I was a child is that we have different privileges in life. I live in a small community, and we went to different schools, public, private, and I've seen how life is, the reality of life for us. And with that, that is an aspect that I can bring to Miss Universe Philippines, for us to be able to appreciate more in life, for us to be able to give more and understand more. Thank you.
What about in this pandemic? What do you think is the most important lesson that you've learned?
The most important thing that I've learned during this pandemic is to not take things for granted. We all know that we have different privileges, and that's something that we have to acknowledge. Not every one of us has the same privilege. And because of that, I was able to use my platform to raise funds, create donation drives for those underprivileged. And that's something that I would want to empower people, for us to appreciate our life better. Thank you.
If you win the crown, how will you help your community in the future?
If I win the crown, I can help through my advocacy, because my advocacy is about public health and sanitation. My advocacy is about creating more environmental laws, because in Iloilo, we have community cleanup drive every Saturday of the month. And Iloilo province is aiming for clean identity province. And that's something that I would want to bring to Miss Universe Philippines, for us to be able to have a clean identity country, for every province to have that achievement also. Thank you. Why are you laughing? Hinihingal pala ako. I'm sorry.
Kakahihingal pa.
Sa lahat po.
What color do you think symbolizes a phenomenal woman?
I don't think there is a certain color, because I think every color, since Miss Universe embraces diversity, I think every color symbolizes a phenomenal woman.
So work from home is now part of the new norm. So what do you think are the skills needed to this so-called workplace of the future?
I never experienced work from home because I'm a flight attendant. But tourism industry is one of the most affected industry, right? So we get to have one flight in a month, and that's really sad because
I really miss flying. And right now, what we can do is to pray that this will all be over, for us to be able to live the normal life again.
If there is one spot in Iloilo province, whether it's man-made or natural, that you would like to promote to the world, what would it be?
There are lots of globally competitive islands and beaches in Iloilo province that are underrated, and that's something that I would want to bring to Miss Universe Philippines for us to be, so I can promote my the tourist destinations that we have, like the Isla de Gigantes and the Sicogon Island. Those are white sand beaches and islands that are really globally competitive that can be on the top best islands in Asia. Thank you.
There's a campaign to hashtag love local. So for you, which local product do you want to promote and why?
Local product that I would want to promote is our hablon. Fabric weaved by our weavers, and it's made of abaca, piña, and cotton. Something that I would want to support and promote because it's also a globally competitive product, and that's also something that I would love to wear.
Last question. What is one thing young people like you should focus on?
One thing that young people like me should focus on is our authenticity. If we are able to acknowledge and accept our vulnerabilities, our fears, that we have our insecurities, then we can empower ourselves and use it to empower other people. That we can, if we use our authenticity, we can be beautiful in our own ways. We can be phenomenally beautiful in our own ways. Thank you. Oh my gosh.